Hello and welcome to Kerbal Space Ram. I call this plane the DualSport. I just think because it has two engines, and it was actually a modification based on another craft design that I called the Tri-Sport because it had a triple propeller prop on the front. Unfortunately, I couldn't get that one to work very well, and used fuel way too quickly, so I made this. And as you can see, it's basically a stunt plane, you know, basic landing gear. Very simple, and it's incredibly fun to fly and maneuver around the KSC. What's our thrust-to-weight ratio? Oh, okay, not 1. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, can we pull out of this? Probably not. Yeah. Oh no, that's gonna end badly. The funny thing is I started recording because I was flying this around the KSC and it was working really well. As in, I was doing all sorts of daring maneuvers that weren't causing any sort of problem. But now that I've started recording, I keep crashing the damn thing. So that kind of sucks. But in any case, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up at 50 meters per second. Yeah, I figured that was might be too soon. Because I pulled up really hard, and this has very narrow landing gear, and wow, that's quite a spin. So you might have noticed this plane has flaps, and it also has a nose wheel that can be used to steer, like this. And my point in mentioning that is just that another thing I've been working on is standardizing all of my craft files, so that they all share the same controls. If they have flaps, the flaps are on 0. If they have nose wheel steering, it's toggleable on, excuse me, action group 9. And if they have engine mode switch, it's on action group 1. Sometimes there's some other things on like 2 and 3. I don't remember off the top of my head right now. Like, oh yeah, Panther afterburning engines would be on like 1. And thrust reversers would be on like 1 or 2, and sometimes they have brakes, and the brakes just go on the oops. But there isn't really much else to say about this particular craft design, other than it's just a lot of fun to fly around. And, sorry, I just have to fly over here and demonstrate that the Su-27 from the other video is still there, because that was, what, yesterday? 2 days? I'm losing track of time. It's not July 4th, but it was July 4th very recently, and my brain is stuck in that. In fact, all of the first 3 automation videos were actually recorded on July 4th, like literally on July 4th. Or was it? No, it was July 3rd. Wait, no, fuck, I don't remember. It was Sunday. Whichever one is Sunday. America be weird, yo. But yeah, holidays and stuff. And this video didn't really feel complete because, well, you know, it's only been like a minute and a half right now, and there's gotta be more to happen. So we're gonna go back to my A-10, because my A-10 has had a massive, massive upgrade, and we're gonna hit this. Beautiful. So this is basically the same A-10 Thunderbolt II that I've had before, with some slight tweaks. You might notice them if you're eagle-eyed, but don't worry. I'll make them quite clear in just a moment. Alright, let's turn towards the SPH, and oops, SPH is gone. Now the VAB, and throttle up just a bit more. Okay, and now the admin center is gone. Let's get out the R&D building. Actually, that was the astronaut center. Oops. Oh well. Same difference, right? And there goes another building. And looks like I missed that shot. And yeah, I think there's only 1 round left. Yep, there it was. Oh, 2 rounds. Yep, and now we're out. So, as you might have been able to tell by the sound effects in use during that particular barrage, those are the new firework parts that were added in 1.12, so they are stock parts of the game. And I am using them as weapons, because as you can see, they're quite effective at that. I've destroyed several buildings with, what, I fired 6 shots at the buildings, 5 of those connected, so 5 buildings were destroyed. Also, here's a fun little trick for you. If you don't get within 200 meters of that craft, because it was landed on the VAB, it will still be landed on the VAB, even though the VAB is destroyed. Anyhow, so how this works is I've added the Starshot 8, which is the one of the new firework parts right here. It is clipped in to line up directly with the firing barrel on the gun, which is obviously made of other non-functional parts to make an aesthetic gun, but not a functional one. Of course, now it is a functional one. You might notice the force here is 232.7 and launch velocity of 11,676, and that is not achievable if you're just looking at... Oh, hey, that sticks out ever so slightly. I like that, actually, because it gives a little hint as to what's hidden here. It's a GAU-1000, which allows you to do things that break otherwise limited things. So you can see I have these set to go all the way up. So there is a huge exponential curve in here, and then I have the time set to... I can't quite tell... Oh, it says it's at 0. I can tell you it's not at 0 because if I click it right now... Oh, okay, I'll just move it a little bit. So if I put it at actual 0, you'll see the force goes to 0.03, launch velocity to 10. Normally these can only go to 5 and 100, but with the addition of the GAU, we can set them to any ridiculous number, including literally thousands, or actually if I put it right near the middle... Well, if I put it right near the middle, we got 603,000 and 36,000 force. Now, the force is basically the recoil force, whereas the launch velocity is how fast it will fire. So launch velocity basically controls how much damage it'll do to something if it hits it. But of course, because this is a video game, if the launch velocity is too high, then it will be less effective because it will go right through a thing without registering the collision. And of course the recoil force, the higher that is, the more it will kill you. It'll destroy your own craft potentially, and that's also how some people have been using these to make Orion drives. And I just set the recoil to something like 500, 400, I don't remember exactly. I set it, you know, basically, yeah, right about here, somewhere around this ballpark. So the launch velocity around 11,000, 10,000. So it's really fast, but still has a decent chance of hitting something, and the, recoil force is high, but not so high that it'll damage or destroy the plane. Although that said, with Kerbal Crash system in here, let's see. No, these small gear bay damage indicators are here from loading in the craft, because unfortunately Kerbal Crash system has an issue with loading craft where they will bounce on the ground pretty hard and that will destroy landing gear. So there's been a lot of damage done there. I wish I could go ahead and reload this right now, but I can't, unless perhaps if infinite fuel allows you to do stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it real quick. I'm going to say infinite propellant, infinite electricity. That may or may not do things. I'm going to click fix repairable parts. That probably won't help, but I'm going to go back to this anyhow, and let's see. Oh, hey, cool. And we can also demonstrate that if it has enough recoil force to slow us down quite significantly, or even make this plane go in reverse, because, well, just like the real thing, it should do that. And you can see where it fires, and you can see that the cockpit shakes quite badly when it fires. And let's see how fast I can fire this. Wow. Waiting for the explosions now. Did I overload the sound generator? I think I or sound engine. I think I actually overloaded the sound engine. Well, let's just do this. Just decouple those and fire another one. No explosion, at least not one that I heard. It may be that they're going out of range without exploding. Yeah, that's going pretty far. So maybe if I point it at the ground. Yeah, because the bouncing off of the ground is keeping them within range to actually detonate. Beautiful. Oh, the sound there we go, now we have engine sounds back. That is great. So yeah. Oh, you know what? You know what? Okay. Full throttle. Let's put the landing gear out. Let's put the brakes on. Put this... Oh yeah, if I have the brakes on, I can't roll, so we're not going to do that. Okay. Put the flaps out, right? So we're gonna come to a stop while the engines are at full throttle by firing the gun. Okay. Hold up. Okay. Uh-oh. Well, that didn't go as intended, but we are on the ground. Not safely in any way, but there we go. Now everything's fine. Everything is fine. Just ignore the flying landing gear.